Hello, everyone. Today I'm here with Dr. Abiodun Anufowosi. Dr. Abiodun, thank you for coming to share your experience about your research assistantship and how you got research assistantship to Georgia State University. And I believe that sharing this information will help those in Africa who are currently looking for opportunities to study in the United States. So, my first question to you will be just share a little bit about your experience and how you actually came to the United States for your PhD.
Okay, thanks, Michael, for having me. Well, so as do most people, not just Africans, but anyone anywhere in the world,
Yeah.
uh, there is this desire to pursue an advanced degree, being it master's or PhD.
Yeah.
So I had the interest in pursuing a master's degree, actually a PhD degree in chemistry at the time. But when I applied, I only got a master's admission. I got admitted to the master's program. But the most important thing is that anyone that is trying to apply to any program, being it master's or PhD, they need to first get something right. And that is, they need to make sure that they put in their best into whatever course they are studying in the university, because that is going to play a big part of the admission process, which is the admission committees. They are going to review the person's educational history and their
Yeah.
achievements while they were in the university. So it is why folks are still in the university now, like studying bachelor's degree or whatever they are studying at the university level. They need to put in their best into whatever course they are studying,
Yeah.
so that when it's time for them to start applying to schools abroad, then it will be easy.
Yeah.
It's not like automatic admission once you have good grades or uh, awards like that. It's not automatic, but it's going to help. It's going
Yep.
to be a part of the admission process. So there are a lot of things that contribute to the admission into grad school, and those are, one is of course the one we talked about, the uh, good grades, and the other ones are the things like statement of purpose,
Mhm.
letter of recommendations, and maybe sample of your work. Like if you have done some research, that is going to help you. And even if the research is not like published, any
Yeah.
work you have done at the undergraduate level would play a role
Yeah.
in the admission process, and will help your case always when your admission when your application is being reviewed by the admission committees. So, yeah, I think my advice for anyone trying to apply to US schools or UK schools or any schools at all,
Yep.
whether even schools in Africa, right? So, my advice is to first make sure you get the first thing right, which is uh, put your best efforts into your academics,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, the goal is to acquire a higher advanced knowledge, right, in any specialization. So if you have not got that foundation right, it might not be very easy for the admission committees to say, okay, they want to hire you. And I use the word hire intentionally because admissions into grad school, especially graduate schools in the US, is like
Mhm.
employment, because they are going to pay you, right?
Yeah.
They're going to pay you. So what you often refer to as scholarship, it's in most schools it's referred to as it comes in the form of teaching assistantship, right?
Yeah.
So they give you some stipend, they waive your tuition, and if you are lucky, or let me say, if you even have really excellent grades, you
Yeah.
could get even more named scholarships, like
Yeah.
named scholarships that can help you fund your education.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like you mentioned, that it's a kind of like an unemployment because research assistantship or teaching assistantship, you have to actually do the work. If you're a research
Right, right.
assistant, then you have to work in the lab, do run a lot of experiment for your advisor. And if you're a teaching assistant, then you have to put more effort into teaching students to do lab work. So it's kind of like an
Absolutely.
employment. It's not like a scholarship where they'll give you money for free. No, you are actually working. You are actually working, and
Yeah, yeah.
you're actually working. They are paying you your stipends. So that is actually very important. So Dr. Abiodun went to Georgia State University. If you're interested in exploring more about research assistantship, kindly go to Georgia State University website and see the type of research they actually do within their university. So now I want to pivot to a different area where I find actually very interesting, which is about software engineering.
Well, at some point in everyone's life, there's always uh, some sort of diversion, or let me say priority changes, right? Like you have been studying a certain course and you just realize that you suddenly like to do something else that is maybe different, largely different, or not even the same thing with what you probably study in school or what you have been previously doing, either that being your occupation or your whatever thing that it may be, that is
Yeah.
your sole area of specialization. It can change at any point in time, and you really can't tell when that will change. But
Yeah.
for me, back to your question, my priority changed, when I came to the United States. Even though I came to study chemistry, I love chemistry, and I still do. I found myself gravitating towards computers, like anything computer program. I really love it. Like, so I decided to learn how to code, and I started learning it, and I really learned it fast. That's after maybe a couple of years, I already started writing some computer programs,
Oh,
and that's to a layman would my presents as a web application,
yeah.
or maybe uh, whatever application it may be, that it's essentially written with computer programs, with computer programming language. So, well, I decided to learn computer programming, and I learned it well, and I know a lot of programming languages, and I can use them effectively, even like building all sort of application. I know
Yeah.
JavaScript, Python, PHP, and mostly I do web application development, and that involves both back end and front end programming. And I decided that okay, I would spend some time every week to even advance my understanding of the computer programs. So, I do it from time to time. And the thing is, whatever we put our heart to, we'll,
Yeah.
sooner or later we'll become an expert in it. So,
Yeah. Consistency. Yeah.
yeah, but in all modesty, I would say I am very comfortable writing any application, any web application. So, but it started as an interest, as a side
Yeah.
interest, and then it quickly developed into something that I really do like consistently right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Your story is very interesting because you pivoted from chemistry to software development. If anyone want to learn anything from this, it's just like always follow what you love to do. What are you passionate
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
And that
absolutely.
will give you a sense of where you'll be moving to in life,
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
not
and there,
about what you just studied.
yeah. And exactly, yeah, and it's good that you touch on that. It's not really about what you study in school, right?
Yeah.
No, because for some people, even what they studied in school, I would say it was an accident, right? Like maybe they didn't want to study that, but
Yeah.
in one situation or the other led them to study that. In my own case, don't get me wrong. I love
Yeah.
chemistry. I have always performed excellently, in even if it's not chemistry, in any of my endeavors,
Yes.
academically. But I believe something like I said earlier, right? At some point, your priority may change. What we like to do or love to do, I should say, may change, right? And that is normal. That is why we are human. Sometimes we can exhibit eccentric behavior, right?
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to drive home is that if you love to do something, it's good if you pivot into doing that thing instead of continue to do something that you really don't like to do anymore. You
Mhm.
may have loved it in the past, but you probably don't like doing it again. So it's all good to if you decide to change your career paths and quickly continue to develop on the new specialization you have developed interest in, because there's I believe everybody also believes this, that if you continue doing what you don't love or like,
Yeah.
you probably not going to enjoy most of your day. So it's better to spend chunk of your time doing something that you really love.
Yeah.
And even if you are staying in school, even if folks, for folks that are staying in school, it's better to spend your time to do something that they really love. If they don't like that thing, it's better to quit right now. Like,
Yeah.
well, I'm not saying, just quit school or something, but,
Mhm.
it's better to, there's this saying that if you want to fail, you should fail early, right? Fail early. So that's because there is really, we all have, like, we don't have infinite time to live on this earth, right? We
Yeah.
have only, sometimes I find myself thinking to myself, why do we even have just 24 hours in a day? Because there's just so much that needs to be done. You
Yeah.
understand? Especially if I bring this discussion to, computer programming, like there is just a lot of things to do. So, you are maybe writing a new feature, or you are fixing some bugs, just so many things to do. And before you know what is happening, it's already midnight. And even like, you are still coding into the midnight, and then but at some point you get tired,
Yeah.
and nature will kick in, and you just feel like going to sleep. Just this morning also, I was just like, oh my god, I have to sleep. You understand?
Yeah.
I've coded all night, I've done some work, and you just have to relax at some point in time. I
Yeah.
don't know why
That's
I started, discussing about that, but
oh,
the point I'm trying to drive home is that people should spend time on things that they love, you know, and eventually, there's a saying that the gift of a man make way for him. So at some point in time, there will always be opportunity knocking at your door,
yeah.
for looking for service on what you actually love to do and what you are doing. So yeah,
Okay.
about Vineville. Sorry, you wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to touch base on that. Since you're not a software architect, I believe you have some adventures you do want to share with us. So what are the current projects you are working on?
Well, I just launched this application. It's called Vineville, and it's an application for people to find job.
Mhm.
So it's powered by AI to leverage. Of course, it's going to let the user enter their criteria, the job they are interested in. So they're going
Yeah.
to put in search criteria, and then the application is going to search the entire web and look for job for them while the folks are sleeping. So the next morning, when you wake up, you are definitely going to find new jobs that have been found for you. And folks can, on the same platform, folks can actually generate AI resume, like, I mean, with the leveraging AI technology. So we are able to generate tailored resume for each of the jobs that the folks have found on the platform. So they can, at the click of a button, you can
Yeah.
generate a tailored resume for each job, and cover letter also.
Yeah.
So if for people looking for AI to like apply for them, this is not the platform that we do that. What we do, it's like preparing your job application and looking for job for you, like jobs that people can apply for, right?
Hmm.
So that really fits into what's their set of skills.
Yeah.
So the platform is, it's in fact made for that. So people don't have to sit in front of LinkedIn, and if you think about it, most of these job boards, they have jobs that are just all over the places. But with this platform, we're able to search for jobs
Yeah.
everywhere, like on LinkedIn, like in jobs on Indeed, job posted to Zip Recruiter, job posted to anywhere. Think of like anywhere at all. It's boundless.
Yeah.
So you are getting the folks will be getting jobs from all sources, not
Mm.
just restricted to, not limited to one platform. So they are
Yeah.
getting aggregating jobs from all sources into their dashboard, and they will
Yeah.
wake up to see jobs that have been found for them. So people just need to go to findview.com to sign up, set their criteria, and they could also uh, create a profile. So their resume is going to automatically generate a profile for them, which they can share, and
Mhm.
that will also help them because the shared profile will be available publicly on our website, the talent directory, where recruiter would eventually uh, go to find talents.
So basically, what I understand is that this is instead of looking for jobs in LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Job Recruiter, your platform will practically pull all those jobs together and bring it in one platform for you.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
that
makes life even easier, right? Because everybody's trying to make their life easier, optimize their time. So there's
yeah.
no time going to different websites and searching for jobs. So if I can just have everything on one dashboard to look at, I think that's the best way to optimize your time.
Yeah, and the icing on the cake is the fact that we are not just looking for job for them with the power of AI. We are also while they are sleeping,
Yeah.
I should say that they are also getting tailored resume for each job. From the resume they have, their own personal resume they have uploaded, they can generate a tailored resume. So that resume they have generated will be tailored to the job description for each
Mhm.
of the jobs
Yeah.
so that they can stand out. And the resumes that are generated are resumes that can be easily tracked with automated tracking systems. So it's compliant with all the ATS technology that recruiters use when saving through jobs. So yeah, and personally, I have used this the platform
Yeah.
even while I was still developing the platform. I have used the platform to find a lot of jobs that are not just any jobs. So
Yeah.
this is not a platform where people will just see some random jobs. These are real jobs that actually exist, and
Yeah.
they will see fan jobs like Facebook, Apple, Amazon,
Mhm.
Netflix, Google. So there are jobs from multiple sources, and people can actually leverage that, the
Yeah.
power of AI to uh, to reimagine their job hunting.
So on my last note, I want you to just give a little advice to Africans looking for postgraduate programs in the United States or in Europe. What advice do you have for them?
Well, like I have hinted earlier, right? My
Yeah.
advice for folks is that they should send in their application early, like application to grad school. They should send it in early
Yeah.
because aside academic prowess, like their brilliant academic history,
Mhm.
they need to. If they don't submit their application on time, then they reduce their chance of getting in by some percentage.
Yeah.
So people need to. There are, I don't know if it's three or four, but I will mention them now. So your transcript, which has your academic history, is one of the key things that needs to be submitted when applying to grad schools in the US. And then SOP is the second. SOP is a statement of purpose, which some schools take it as a personal statement, and
Mhm.
that actually is very important. I would even say it's probably more important than the transcript because the statement of purpose, it's the opportunity the admission committees give to the students to
Yeah.
sort of
Express themselves.
express themselves like in front of because the admission committees are seated there in the room. You don't
Yeah.
even know where they are having. Some might even be working from home looking at your application. So the only one chance that you have uh, to optimize your rates, your chance of getting accepted, is to spend time to write a really brilliant, excellent statement of purpose
Yeah.
that talks about your experience. What how your experience has led you to that point that you are applying to the school, why
Yeah.
you're applying to the program, and what are the things that you really want to do after you finish the program, and even while doing the program, your research experience. If you have a lot of research experience, that is the opportunity there for you to talk about them. So
Mhm.
it presents you with a lot of opportunity that you can leverage to increase your to boost your chance of being accepted into grad
Yep.
school. So that is a transcript and SOP. Then the other one is letter of recommendation. So
Yeah.
letter of recommendation is best for it to come from a professor, and some people can argue this, but someone who has reputation, a very good reputation in the academic community, is
Yes.
better able to talk about someone who is going to also study uh, for masters or PhD,
Mm.
right? And it's even much better when when that student has worked for that professor in the
Yeah.
past. They
Yeah.
have
That's
done
correct.
some research under that professor, then that would put the icing on the cake for that person. So the the letter of recommendation is the third one,
Yeah.
and I think the other one maybe not really a checklist, but it's also a checklist. It's something to check is the timeline, right?
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, to send in the application much early, and also do their research well, because some schools really don't need all these things like aptitude test. What are they called? Like admission tests, like
Mhm.
GRE, graduate record exam, or TOEFL, test of English as a foreign language, or
Yeah.
IELTS. I can't remember off the top of my head now what that
Yeah.
means. I think it's international English, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So do their research. Some schools don't really need students to take those exams. In fact, some schools will say, do not submit GRE tests, or do
Yeah.
not submit TOEFL tests. Even Harvard, I think Harvard and some really top schools, I think MIT, I don't know of Stanford, but
Yeah.
all these top schools now they state it categorically on their platform, on their website, where it's also depends on the course you are applying to.
Okay.
So they stated there that you should not. You understand? Some will say you can submit, you may submit, right? So,
Yeah.
but it's
Optional. They make it optional.
very must. But I would say for students that are coming from Africa, especially because maybe the research experience might not be very good,
Hmm.
depending on the school they go to.
Yeah.
It might help them their case if they have this aptitude test taken and send them in with their application, so
Yeah.
that because the admission committees are always looking for for the reason uh, to take someone in as a student, and also even if you have met all the you met all the criteria, you meet all the criteria, they still want to see how they are going to distribute the fund that is
Hmm.
available
Yeah.
across the students. So if a student really excel well, and one student is an average, and they were thinking of taking both of them, I mean one of them, they will probably go for the one that maybe submits even more credentials like
Yeah.
that full of GRE test. Yeah, and above all else, submits they should send in the application early.
I think you mentioned all the important information that is needed for a graduate application. And thank you very much for sharing your experience. And I hope this information is going to help a lot of students across Africa. By the way, Dr. Abiodun is from Nigeria, and you know that whether you're from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Mali, from Burkina Faso, from South Africa, the application process is still the same. The experience is still the same. So don't feel like because you are from Ghana or because you're from Nigeria, you can't get any graduate assistantship. Just keep trying. You might be rejected, but that is not the end of the world. Keep trying, and at the end of the day, there'll be something available for you. So, Dr. Avi, thank you very much for accepting the invitation, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you, Michael.